You knew the content cop was coming?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen and everything else in between, we are yet again back with more Hasan, H3 and iDubbbz. Look, none of you can complain that I'm making another Hasan, H3 and iDubbbz video because I gave you a 4 video break from this topic and there's lots to discuss. So, everyone should be grateful that I haven't been spamming your timelines full of iDubbbz and H3 content because now you've got a sizable video to watch about some of the most important updates that I specifically want to talk about, and it's all mainly relating to iDubbbz. Straight off the bat, I want to get a few of the updates out of the way. So firstly, let's talk about the H3 and Denims situation. If you don't know about this situation, I highly recommend you'd go and watch my video on it and then come back to this video afterwards. Look, we're not going anywhere, take your time.
If you want funny things, I'll give you stuff to laugh about, dude. I've got a lot of jokes about you. And if that's the road you want to take, we can go down that road, man. We can go down that road.
I honestly bet AB and the whole H3 team were absolutely shaking there because, of course, we all know Denims is a woman of her word. Spoiler alert, she's definitely not.
You don't want the smoke.
1 week later, 1,692 donations and $46,000 later, I'm refunding the GoFundMe. If/when I go forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. Thank you everyone for proving Ethan wrong, his behaviour is unacceptable and people do care. Proceeding with a defamation lawsuit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. His suit with Kavanaugh started almost 4 years ago and is still ongoing. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish, and I feel like I've let down those who have donated. With that in mind, if this is a journey I wish to undertake, I'll be doing it with my own funds. I'll be keeping all of you posted if anything happens while the statute of limitation runs for the next year, and I'll be elaborating on stream Friday. I appreciate all of you for your support, it means more than you know. I have a little funny feeling that maybe iDubbbz won't be retweeting that Ethan Klein tweet. It's genuinely so funny to me that this bit of the situation lasted for a week. Other people, including myself, were speculating how long this would go for, how far this would go, so this is just absolutely hilarious. When I originally saw this tweet and read out the first bit of the line, I genuinely bursted out laughing. But I'm 100% looking forward to seeing what she has to say on Friday about all of this because I bet it would be good. Why issue a retraction letter and crowdfund if you weren't serious about your legal threat? I was and I am. If CCC 48A applies, you must issue a retraction letter within 20 days of the defamatory statement before you can pursue a lawsuit. This is why Ethan was so prompt in his letter to Noah, but he is yet to file a suit, if he ever actually planned on doing so. I changed my mind about crowdfunding because I realized that I didn't like the money grabbing narrative. Normally this wouldn't be an issue because I could just be transparent with how the money was spent, but over the lengths of time that a lawsuit would span, it isn't realistic and just doing my best isn't enough for an offensive lawsuit. Anyone that's disappointed needs to realize they would have been waiting a very long time for any kind of emotional payout on this anyway, and that's easier to take time on this when I'm not being perpetually scrutinized as a scammer. To anyone that doesn't care about the money and just wants to see Ethan take L's, the Kavanaugh suit will end before any potential lawsuit of mine gets off the ground. Not to mention, if he does end up filing something against me, it feels strange to crowdfund for a defamation suit and for a defense at the same time, and mixing the funds feels even stranger. This is the cleanest way to move forward. You would genuinely think that this idea and all these thoughts might have crossed her mind when she thought about doing this crowdfunding for this lawsuit. She might have thought about it for longer than about 5 seconds before actually going ahead with it. You might think about these type of things before actually going ahead with something like this. Ethan responded by saying, in other words, her attorney explained to her that she had no chance of winning and would be liable to pay my attorney fees. Unfortunately for you, I don't need anyone's money and I don't like being threatened by the person harassing me. Or, an even funnier option, her lawyer dropped her when they found out she had erased evidence. So it's safe to say that Denims over the past few days has been relentlessly mocked for this. Also, I thought I'd mention the whole Hasan getting detained thing.
He knew exactly who the fuck I was, but he was basically like, he always made it seem as though he was asking certain things that after discovering in the process of that conversation, he would ask additional questions. So he kept saying, "What do you do as a job? Do you talk about the news?" And I was like, yeah, I talk about the news.
I thought I'd at least mention this update and what's going on here just for full transparency. He is not my main subject of today's video. He's not even really going to be mentioned a lot in today's video. A lot of this is to do with iDubbbz, Creator Clash, Denims, and H3, really not Hasan. That is a big thing going on with Hasan at the moment that, I thought I should at least mention within this video. And as well, just so I could play this clip too.
And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking like, These fucking dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fucking fire.
Of course, Hasan, because it's definitely the slop tubers' fault, and they definitely bear some responsibility. Hello, fellow slop tuber here. They don't. Now, we have a lot of clips to get through, right? We have an extraordinary amount of stuff to be reacting to. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into, right? No more delays.
There's creator clash, and I was down to do it. And even with the content cop, Ian and Ethan, them doing that, that's fine. But like, people got weird. They would hit me up and they're like, oh, what's the environment of this event going to be? And like, you know, it's like, it's fine. You know, I was committed to it. LA Beast was going to be doing it. But then people that they kind of, the event endorses or puts like front and center were saying some crazy shit, in my opinion. And I was not comfortable endorsing an event that would endorse these people and their words.
Arguably the thing I've become most interested in over the past few weeks 100% has been the Creator Clash and the fallout all of this stuff has had on Creator Clash. And I think it's very interesting how badly this event has been mismanaged, how badly creators and fighters on this event have been handled, how badly they've been held to account. It's just a complete shitstorm. And of course, as of recently, Harley has become very vocal about Creator Clash and what's been going on there. But as you will see in today's video, Harley is not the only fighter, you know, going out and speaking about this. What I do find very interesting as well about Creator Clash is there have been no updates from the official Creator Clash account since the announcement on their post that Anissa and Ian would be taking a step back from the event. There's been nothing, no promotion, no announcements for the, you know, replacements of the missing fighters, just genuinely dead silence, literally zero communication publicly.
Medic stuff, like what were they saying?
They were like saying things like well, one specific thing that like kind of that was out of all the things that had been said, I saw a clip of Hasan, and I knew they were going to be doing a fundraiser with him, but his he was like, oh yeah, if you've ever said anything positive about Israel, you shouldn't be allowed to even be a dog catcher. You should be treated like a. And I was like, hey, my family and friends and my community, that's so crazy.
And this all comes down to iDubbbz not putting Creator Clash first, deciding to do all this Ethan drama first, deciding to do all the stuff with Hasan first, before prioritizing his Creator Clash charity event, or quote-unquote a charity event. The only person that is to blame for the failure of Creator Clash 3 is iDubbbz himself, for the things he said, for the things that he has done, for the decisions that he has made. It all comes down to him at the end of the day. If he had just decided to wait to do all of this until after Creator Clash 3, yeah, it would still probably have been a failure to a certain extent, especially after Creator Clash 2, but it would have been in a 10 times better state than it currently is.
All of them? I don't know. But then like it was, the conversation was really political, and because like, I don't know if you guys caught the official Creator Clash fundraiser.
No.
Oh, they just did one with like Hasan, and it was him reacting to this video that Ethan made about him. So they're just like talking a lot about like the who and Hezbollah and like was there on, and like it's just all this, and I'm like, what's up with the boxing though? Like, what's going on with like the boxing? Like
yeah, this is a sentiment that's kind of been spread around. Again, like I've been speaking about in this video, my past videos on Creator Clash and just iDubbbz in general, is the prioritization of Creator Clash 3, the boxing itself, the charity element of it, and all of that type of stuff to do with Creator Clash 3 just wasn't prioritized. It was pushed to the side, forgotten about, and then when it self-imploded, iDubbbz just kind of walked away. And I think it's really good to see some fighters from the actual Creator Clash event who were either meant to be fighting, who are fighting, or fought previously, speaking out about this. I think it's really interesting because we get a really unique perspective, and I think it's really interesting and funny to watch how badly Creator Clash 3 is failing. But the next clip again is from Harley. This time he went on H3 stream, and this time he said that he knew that the content cop that was going to be dropped was going to be on H3.
I had kind of known that it was coming.
You knew the content cop was coming?
Yeah, it was kind of run by me, kind of.
Okay, well,
I didn't think it was gonna be what it was or look like how it did, you know.
Tell me everything. What are you waiting for?
Well, listen, I'm trying to, you know, you listen, okay?
Tell me.
I also didn't know who knew, so I kind of messaged AB in a weird way to trying to fish out if he knew.
Honestly, just does scream to me that iDubbbz just does not know how to handle anything. He doesn't know how to handle this content cop situations as a whole, charity events or quote unquote charity events, just basically anything. This is just a huge gigantic mess on iDubbbz's part, and I genuinely want to know, where does iDubbbz go from here?
but I've been messaging about it. I don't think he picked up on it. I don't think I was obvious enough. I was just like, yo, things are crazy over there. And I think I shared something that someone was like, it'll be on H3. And I was like, imagine this happens. I forget what my words were.
You know, you messaged me and you said something like, I know things are crazy. Hope you're doing okay. You're in the middle of everything, I know. But
there was something hidden in there that was like, imagine this happened. And it was like, I was like, you think it would be this?
There isn't a whole lot I can add to that clip, but I just wanted to show it. I found it incredibly interesting to see who knew behind the scenes about this content cop and how it was managed, or more accurately, mismanaged. Going back to something I said earlier about Creator Clash fighters actually speaking out about the event, Ren from Corridor Crew, who will be fighting on Creator Clash 3,
real good touring, I believe, so they're helping facilitate this whole event too. They reached out to us basically being like, hey, any of you guys want to do this Creator Clash thing at all? And I responded immediately being like, yes, I do. I really do. And yeah, because I don't know why I accepted this.
Poor Ren from Corridor Crew is probably saying that for an entirely different reason now. He has actually spoke about the state of Creator Clash currently, and his insight is pretty interesting.
As Ian and Ethan are now doing this YouTube battle against each other, going through this drama war, Creator Clash is receiving a lot of collateral.
Definitely, 100%. Of course, Creator Clash 3 was already getting pushback and criticism from people because of the failures of Creator Clash 2 and just some things that were inherently wrong there that people called out, but the whole H3 iDubbbz stuff gave it huge collateral damage and genuinely has destroyed the event. As I and many other content creators have repeatedly spoken about, is that, if iDubbbz simply waited, Creator Clash 3 wouldn't have been in such a disastrous state.
Damage.
See, it's so funny. Everyone was saying like, oh, I hate H3, how H3 actually got Creator Clash to get some negative air. See, this is the thing. iDubbbz made a video about them.
Yeah.
He, the founder of Creator Clash, made a video about these other people who are creating drama. So I'm saying, like, this is like this thing where
I'm going to give Corridor Crew the benefit of the doubt here and probably say that, realistically, they're not involved in this drama, they're not looking into this drama, they're probably not paying attention to this drama and everything that's going on within it, but Ethan didn't just cause drama. He spoke out a little bit against iDubbbz and Anissa, and specifically for them not saying anything about the CPS call and just loads of other stuff, and, iDubbbz and Anissa badly responded on their podcast after saying that they weren't going to do another content cop, and in that podcast saying that they weren't going to, drop a response or anything, and they like to ignore things like this and not cause any drama. They dropped a content cop on H3 and then H3 responded. It is a lot more delicate and a lot more complicated, but a lot of this is iDubbbz's fault. The large majority of it is. And then it comes to Creator Clash, and the hate they've received post content cop is all iDubbbz's fault. All the damage to Creator Clash 3 after iDubbbz dropped his content cop is all because of him. That decision caused lots of collateral damage towards the event, and that's all his fault.
It's like, I'm not gonna tell Ian what to do. It's not my place to be like, sure, Ian, maybe you shouldn't do that, because the rest of us might kind of catch some strays from it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, it feels like Ian and I we're friends walking down a sidewalk, and he gets stung by a wasp, and he's like, oh, and he looks up and there's a wasp nest there. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a wasp nest. And he pulls out a bat and he runs up and hits that.
I do feel like I repeat myself a lot when it comes to these videos, because it is genuinely the same points over and over again in response to lots of these clips. If iDubbbz just simply waited, of course, you all know by now, Creator Clash wouldn't have had the backlash that it did. The event wouldn't be in the state that it is. But iDubbbz caused that. It's iDubbbz's fault. It's very funny. I'm going to continue to say this because it's absolutely hilarious. I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that has given some of you ammunition for the comments to say that, all you do is repeat yourself. All you're doing is repeating yourself. Well, we are talking about Creator Clash 3. A lot of it is just going to be me repeating myself because, a lot of these points apply to every single clip that we look at about this event.
Wasp nest, and comes back. It's like, ha, I showed that wasp nest. And I'm like, uh-oh. And all the wasps come flying out and they start stinging us. Both of us. Mostly him because he was but I'm like I'm getting stung. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't come on this walk to get stung by wasps. Why'd you go hit the wasp nest?
Yeah.
And and he's like, all right, the only thing to do here to protect you is to run away.
I genuinely do feel really bad for the creators fighting on this event. They didn't ask for any of this. They probably didn't expect that iDubbbz would drop a huge content cop on H3 and, you know, blow up Creator Clash 3 and then just run away from the event. The lack of communication behind the scenes and just publicly is appalling. They didn't ask for any of this. They probably didn't expect any of this. But I mean, to be fair, after the failure of Creator Clash 2, can you really argue that some responsibility might have laid on their shoulders just a little bit to accept that maybe this event might go down the shitter? But no, of course, it must be awful to be a fighter on this event, and I genuinely do have like a lot of respect for people that are still willing to be fighting on this event.
And so he runs away, and now I'm just okay, I guess they're following him, but I'm still kind of getting stung here. Not really what I signed up for.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of that. So over the weekend, Ian came out and announced that him and Anissa are completely leaving Creator Clash.
Whoa.
They are ceding all of control, all of their ownership over the event, all behind the scenes, privately and publicly. They have nothing to do with Creator Clash now. So I literally just had a meeting with all the fighters over a Zoom call and the new management of the whole...
At least there's just a tiny bit of communication going on behind the scenes. Funnily, straight after iDubbbz and Anissa left, which is just, you know, mwah, spectacular. And of course, Anissa is on to bigger and better things like this just absolutely beautiful tweet. Look, she's of course doing better things than Creator Clash or doing literally anything else with her life. But that's all I wanted to speak about for today's video. Now I will go on another 4-day break from the Hasan, H3, iDubbbz, slop train, and then come back with, you know, another decent, like, beefy length video. Everybody watching, what's your thoughts on all of this? What's your thoughts on the people speaking out against Creator Clash, what they're saying, you know, H3, all of that good stuff? Please feel free to comment that down below. Watch the video, you might as well subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. But I've been your host, Samuel. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you in the next one.